everyone. I'm Heather Dawson.
I'm Audra Stafford here at the San Diego Natural History Museum, where more than 200 artifacts from the Titanic wreck site are now on display. April 10th, 1912, the day the RMS Titanic set sail from England on her maiden voyage.
It was the largest man-made moving object ever built, the most luxurious ship ever built.
And it was said to be unsinkable, until that moment just 4 nights later when it hit an iceberg.
It took 2 hours and 40 minutes after they hit the iceberg for it to sink. That's the same length of the time as a play. And in a play, there's a lot of stories that are told, and there were certainly a lot of stories that were written that night.
Those stories are now living on in exhibits across the country, thanks to meticulous salvage work.
It takes 2.5 hours to get down, and it's all black.
Actor Lowell Lytle has spent 14 years as a spokesman and lookalike for the Titanic's captain. And in 2000, he got a chance to visit the wreck site himself.
But he took me to the bow. I went right over that spot where they held out their arms in the movie and said, "I'm the king of the world."
Right. Open your eyes.
I went over the main hatch, up the crow's nest, up on the bridge, saw the telemotor.
Lytle also helped to recover artifacts.
I found good many items, and I stayed focused on picking up artifacts the best I could for about an hour and not emotionally get involved. But you cannot see the Titanic with your own eyes and not be affected.
The same goes for Titanic, the Artifact Exhibition. As you walk through the exhibit, you'll see personal belongings recovered from the wreck site, historic photos of the ship, and detailed recreations of the cabins. This is one of the exhibit's interactive areas. It's a replica of the iceberg, and it's actually cool to the touch. Each visitor to the exhibit will also receive a boarding pass with the name of an actual passenger.
Could have been a first, second, or third class passenger. Could be a crew member. And you look at the china and so forth and say, let's see, if I were second class, I would have eaten off of this piece right here. And you'll identify with that person. And when you get to the memorial room, you will look to see if that person survived.
Lytle says it's an extremely emotional experience.
I see them jump up and down. They say, I lived. Other people, I've seen them burst into tears. I didn't make it. I can't think of a better way to respect those 1,500 souls than to tell their stories. And that's what we're going to do here.
Bringing you the best of California from San Diego, I'm Audra Stafford.
As summer break begins and school routines are disappearing, many families are noticing a dramatic increase in the amount of time children spend online. Experts say the shift may also be linked to changes in children's mood, stress, sleep, and overall digital well-being. Here to help is clinical psychologist and digital health expert, Dr. Lauren Lee. Welcome in.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, how does device use for kids change during the summertime?
Well, summer is increasingly being shaped by technology. It's really shifting the way that our children play, socialize, relax, and spend their free time. We see that when school routines end, kids' screen time use increases until it hits weekend usage levels, and then it stays there all summer long. Our research found that screen time increases by 30% in kids 7 through 12 across the summer months. And 75% of younger kids told us that they would rather watch videos than play with actual toys. So this is a widespread concern. So much so that Hollywood is taking notice. The villain in the upcoming Toy Story 5 movie is a tablet.
Are there specific red flags kids and families should watch out for?
When you see that screen time is starting to impact your child's mood, stress, sleep, or behavior, it could be a sign that their digital well-being is suffering. And this is really common in the summer. In fact, our research shows that 1 in 3 children experience low digital well-being during the summer. So I really want parents to be on the lookout for the following: late night device usage, sudden changes in the apps or platforms your kid use, withdrawal from offline activities, and mood shifts that happen after they have been online. Really, just notice the impact screen time is having on your kid, and if it's doing things like impacting their sleep, their ability to focus, or preventing them from having real-world experiences. Parents, you're not alone. Nobody can monitor everything. The goal is to really set expectations early. You can do this with family agreements around tech use and have consistent conversations with your child about what they're doing and seeing online and how it's impacting them. Aura Parents is also here to help. To start shifting your child's favorite online interests into offline fun that's good for them, you can take our 90s summer quiz that we created in partnership with Common Sense Media. And since we know that parents are busy and can't be everywhere, tools like Aura Parents are key for helping you to understand your child's screen habits and digital well-being so that it makes it easier for you to have meaningful conversations and support healthier habits for them over time. To find out more information about Aura Parents and to take that 90s summer quiz, head on over to auraparents.com.
An overwhelming outpour of love for 16-year-old American Idol contestant Jessica Sanchez.
I just can't believe that a girl that used to go to Eastlake Middle is now on American Idol's Top 24.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah.
I can't take full credit because, to be honest with you, I thought she was amazing when she stepped on the campus as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, and now that she's 16 and going on, I'm just blessed to have been a chance to be a part of her success.
This former choir director recalls San Diego's latest Idol success story came from very humble beginnings.
I had no idea who she was because she's pretty quiet and soft-spoken, and she never said, hey, look at me, here's what I can do, and so she started singing, and then the class was amazed how good she was.
On Wednesday, America caught a glimpse of this unbelievable talent with her rendition of The Prayer, securing her spot in the top 24.
That performance made me cry, and how she was talking about how her parents put a lot of work and effort into her singing career, and like we were doing inside the pavilion. I'm Team J all the way.
I didn't know how good she was, and then someone said, hey, she just sang yesterday at the Charger game, and I was like, what? No way. Then we started hearing her sing, and we went on YouTube and Google, and we realized she was singing on America's Got Talent, she was on a Verizon commercial, and then I was blown away.
Since then, Jessica, also known as Jay by family and friends, is being dubbed the early favorite frontrunner in the Idol competition. She hit the stage for viewers' votes, and the San Diego Filipino community rallied behind her.
Well, actually, I'm very proud because I've seen the kid when she was still small and joined the Seafood City karaoke competition when she was, I think, about 7 or 8. And she was, the grand champion for the kids category. She's going to go places because she has a lot of power in her voice, and her rendition of the songs, like Whitney Houston songs, are very incredible. I think one of the things that helped her also is the fact that she was invited in different community events, and I think that helped her build her confidence, and also, with all of the competitions, it toughens you up.
Well, I think the Filipinos that know about this should do everything they can to support her because she's done so well. She's making a name not only for her but for us, so to speak. Just like how there's the big buzz over Jeremy Lin and all the Taiwanese and Asians, so same thing with her. She has the same potential to affect a lot of people, so we should try to return that by supporting her as best as we can.
It's been an exciting night here at Tita's restaurant with all the kababayan supporting Jessica Sanchez. And while she wows the Idol judges, she obviously continues to wow her many hometown fans.
Hi, I'm Elise Thurston with Coast to Coast TV. Many people have never heard of the chronic skin disease, hidradenitis suppurativa, or HS. But it's not rare, just rarely talked about. HS can cause painful nodules and scarring, and often takes years to correctly diagnose. Here with more are Dr. Vivian Shi from the University of Washington in Seattle, and Katina, who's living with HS. Dr. Shi, can you explain what HS is and why so many people go years without a diagnosis?
Yeah, HS stands for hidradenitis suppurativa. It's a chronic skin condition where people can get really painful boils and bumps in areas where the skin rubs against each other, like the armpits and the groin. The average range of time from disease onset until getting an accurate diagnosis is about 7 to 10 years, and that is way too long. And there's many reasons why there's a delay in diagnosis. Earlier stages of HS, they come and go with periods of being pretty quiet in between. So many people will wait to see the doctor hoping it will go away, but it is progressive. Other things include, it's in very private and sensitive areas like the groin, and so people may be reluctant to speak out. And that's why we're here today, to bring awareness to HS.
And Katina, when did you first notice symptoms, and what challenges did you face before receiving a diagnosis?
Yes, I first noticed symptoms at the age of 11 years old, and I was not accurately diagnosed until 41. That was 30 years of facing this condition, where I had those painful boils in my groin and also armpits. So of course it impacted my daily life, and that's why I'm here to encourage people to advocate for their health so that they can get the proper diagnosis sooner.
And Dr. Shi, how is HS managed today, and how does the HS Truth Initiative help encourage earlier recognition and care?
Yeah, HS is very complex, so it deserves a multimodal treatment that typically includes lifestyle modification, a bunch of medications when appropriate, and procedures when they have scarring and draining tunnels. And the key is to capture that window of opportunity to treat early before damage happens. And HS Truth is an educational initiative by Insight, and who we're partnering with today, to bring awareness and to bring visibility to the condition, to empower people living with HS to talk to their dermatologist. So when you have these symptoms, talk to your doctor, get a referral to a dermatologist, and visit myhstruth.com for more information.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad that there's an initiative going on to let more people know about this.
Well, a major new push to save lives is hitting the basketball court. The Prostate Cancer Foundation is teaming up with Ice Cube's Big Three head coach and Hall of Famer Nancy Lieberman to bring prostate cancer awareness and the importance of PSA screening directly to communities nationwide. At the heart of the effort is one simple but powerful message and a three-step game plan. Joining us now is Nancy Lieberman and Chief Philanthropy Officer at the Prostate Cancer Foundation, Lori Tessel, to talk about why this message matters so much and how it's already making an impact. Hey, good morning or welcome, ladies. Nancy, why is this mission personal for you right now?
I've had a lot of people that I know have prostate cancer, specifically Jay Harris at ESPN, one of the anchors, he got it. And I had to learn about what prostate cancer is. And 1 in 8 men get prostate cancer, 1 in 6 are Black. And I needed to know what the next steps were.
And Lori, talk about the campaign. Why is the campaign so important right now?
Because of those men getting tested now, we already know that 20 to 25% are being diagnosed. Men need to be tested. That is the number one. It's not part of the primary care guidelines, so men must advocate for themselves.
So Nancy, I know part of the campaign is this 3 steps, 1 goal. Why does that message matter, and why is it clicking with fans?
Well, you have to go to your doctor. That's one. You must get tested. We don't know where your scores are, your levels are, if you don't get tested, and that's how you save lives. And now we're going to do this, nationally with the Big Three, as you mentioned, during this summer. So we're going to, just cast a wide net of helping people.
And Lori, why is it so important using basketball and sports to bring this right to the communities?
Because this is the audience we need to reach. I mean, partnering with Nancy and Ice Cube and the Big Three, this is where we want that audience to know that they need to get tested and get tested today.
And Lori, you mentioned about how important screenings are in getting men tested. Just re-emphasize why that is so important, because men kind of don't, as a man, I know we're not real anxious to do the testing.
Just ask. It's a simple blood test. Men in their 40s and 50s will be diagnosed with a more aggressive case. They must get tested. Go to pcf.org, check the box and make sure you have all the resources you need to know how you can advocate for yourself.
Great advice for all the men out there. Nancy Lieberman and Lori Tessel, thank you so much for sharing this information with us.
Hi, I'm Elise Thurston with Coast to Coast TV. Achondroplasia, the most common form of dwarfism, is a rare genetic condition that affects how children grow and develop. While it's often associated with a short stature, it may also cause medical complications. Here to explain more is Dr. Chaya Murali, pediatric geneticist. What is achondroplasia, and what are some of the common misconceptions about the condition?
Achondroplasia, as you mentioned, is one of the most common genetic forms of skeletal dysplasias, in fact, the most common. One of the most common misconceptions about genetic skeletal dysplasias, which are just disorders where you have differences in your bone structure and development over time, is that they only affect height. But it turns out that they actually affect multiple parts of the body, so it's really a multi-system disorder.
And what are some of the health complications associated with this condition?
People with achondroplasia can have decreased muscle strength compared to other people their age. They can have brain and spinal cord anatomical differences that can result in breathing issues. They can have recurrent ear infections due to differences in the anatomy of their ears. And that can also cause hearing loss depending on if there's fluid buildup. And of course, differences in the facial structure and anatomy can also cause breathing issues.
And how is achondroplasia diagnosed, and why is it important?
I'm happy to be here today in partnership with Ascendis Pharma to talk to you guys about this diagnosis because I want to raise awareness. So diagnosis can be done or suspected while a person is pregnant, although more commonly, we don't really suspect it until a baby is born and we notice that their body is shaped differently, suggestive of achondroplasia. A diagnosis is only confirmed after you do genetic testing, which is done using a cheek swab or a blood sample usually. And diagnosing early makes your child or yourself able to see the specialists that you need to see to get the care you need to make. So that's why it's really important to get diagnosed early.
And what does management of achondroplasia involve?
So it typically involves a multidisciplinary team of multiple different types of medical specialists because of those different medical issues. So you might see a pediatric genetics doctor like myself. You might see a bone surgeon or orthopedic surgeon. You might see an ear, nose, and throat doctor who's a surgeon. You might see a hearing specialist. You might see physical therapy, all kinds of things. And there are also pharmacological options available for people with achondroplasia. So if they want to learn more, they can go to askaboutachondroplasia.com to learn more about this diagnosis and how it's managed.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Chaya Murali. It was great speaking with you today.
Danny Hamlin just captured the checkered flag here at the 2026 Pennzoil 400 at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
It went great. Wonderful race. No one got hurt. Very exciting. Lots of fast cars. We loved it. My husband's name is Danny. He's right there. So I love all Danny, variants. We had some special passes today. So, we felt the wind in our hair. Great snacks, easy parking, in Vegas. Who doesn't love Vegas?
There were 21 lead changes among 9 different drivers. Danny Hamlin led the most laps with 134, followed by Kyle Larson with 62 laps, and Christopher Bell led 31.
But I just knew within about 15 laps after that first restart, when I was cutting through everyone, I was like, well, there's still time. I can't waste any time getting around guys. I can't get stuck behind anyone. And so we just kept marching. And when we got to the 5th, by the end of that second stage, I was like, okay, I'm back in it. And I'm close enough now to the front that surely those guys up front looked at the scoring pile and he's like, they had to have thought, holy shit, he's back already. like that, we got through the field quick. And so we knew we were going to be strong, but guys work on their cars. Everyone makes their stuff better. Chase came on at the end, similar like he did in 21 when we had a race. But But today was just our day. Speeding penalty, the car was just too fast for a speeding penalty to stop us.
Bringing you the best of Coast to Coast from the 2026 Pennzoil 400 at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I'm Jason Rosidlo reporting.
And that's it for us. If you missed any part of our show, go to our website. We'll see you next time.